Hi, this is Ken here from the Teamer Help Desk, and I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar. We're going to take a look at just how easy it is to get started on Teamer, and I'm going to take you through all the key features and show you how they work. Now, once you've signed up, which I imagine most of you have, the first thing you need to do is create a team. This is very simple. You input your team name, the sport, location, etc., as I'm doing here, and when you're completed that information, click Save. Okay, so you're up and running now. The next thing you'll want to do is add your members. You have two options here. You can add them manually, typing in the email address and or the mobile phone number, as I'm doing with this first player. Or you can bulk upload from a spreadsheet, a .csv file, as I'm showing you now. If you're doing it from a spreadsheet, there are instructions on the page how to set up the columns so the information goes in first time. You can see me now uploading this spreadsheet. It's worthwhile just pointing out a couple of things here about the information you upload on players. You can upload an email address, a phone number, or both. You don't need to have both, but if you have both, it's well worth putting them in, as it gives you two routes to the players when it comes to notifying events. If you only have email or mobile number, that's fine. They will get event communications just the same, and indeed, as they come to register, they can add the missing contact information if they choose. Also worth pointing out, players do not need to come to register in advance of you communicating with them. The system works on the basis that you have authority to be in communication with them. So right from the start, as soon as you enter their detail, you can be sending them notifications about events which they will receive. Okay, you see now that the member list is uploaded. And before we go on to show you how to create events and notify them, it's worth mentioning what happens from a player's perspective when you first upload them to the team. When I uploaded their details, each member will get an email and or a text message which invites them to log in to view the team page. This message is unique to them and it contains their own password, which they can change to a password of their own as they register. You see here an example of what an email invitation looks like for a player. If a player is already registered on another team or team, they won't get this invite, but when they next visit the platform in response to an event you might send them out, they'll see this team listed appended to the teams they were already a member of. Here's an example of the dashboard showing a member who has a connection with a number of teams. Okay, before I go on to show you how to set up an event and notify it, I'd quickly like to show you the groups capability within the team list. In some cases you may want to organize several teams within an overall team. So for example, let's assume you have 50 players and you might want to divide them into the first team, the second team and the third team. This is pretty straightforward. In the member list, create each of those groups as I'm creating the first team here. Once you have saved the new group, you can then go through your member list, assigning members to the group of choice. Once members have been assigned to a group, that group can be called upon whilst using any of the functions in the site. So you can set up an event and have it just be for that group, or you can set up a message to be sent just to that group. This can be very useful, particularly where you may be dealing with a large squad. Okay, let's get to the business end of why Teamer is going to save you a lot of time and make your life easier. Let's set up and notify an event. As you can see on the screen here, a number of very straightforward options. I start off by clicking the new event button, and this gives me an opportunity to pick the event type that I'm interested in setting up. There are a number of options there, including a bespoke event type where you can set your own type of event up. So if none of the other options suit, feel free to go ahead and use that. So I input the game details, the time of the event, the location, as you see here. I can create an event time and a separate meet time if I choose, and also even a separate meet location. In this case, I'm going to assume it's a home game and we are meeting half an hour before the event is due to kick off. Okay, so I've saved the event now. So the last part of the task is to select the individuals who are going to receive this notification. If everyone is going to be notified, I simply use the Add All to Lineup button, and this moves them all across. However, I may want to select people individually, or if there's a few individuals who won't be receiving the communication, perhaps I want to add all to lineup and then move those individuals back into the squad. Now, the last step is to send the notification. The default position is that everyone on the team list with an email will get an email automatically. They will also get a push notification to the mobile app if they have the mobile app. You can see the icons on the screen which show you how players will be communicated with. It's very important to note that if you want players to also get an SMS message, assuming that their mobile numbers are on the system, that you check the SMS box. You can do this with a single click at the top, which will switch everyone on for SMS, or you can select those individuals one by one for SMS if that's how you choose to consume your SMS. Final step, you don't forget to send a notification as I'm doing here. You can also choose to set up the notification to be sent at a future date. And that's essentially how to send a notification for an event. You'll certainly find that after you've done one or two of those, all those aspects of the task will come as second nature. Now, so we've sent our notification and we'll take a quick look at how the players receive those notifications. Here's an example of the email they receive. All they need to do is click on the link and then confirm their acceptance of the event, or indeed if they're declining, confirm that they are declining. Here's an example of the SMS. All the player needs to do is press reply Y or reply N and then send. And lastly, here's an example of how it looks if the player is being communicated with via push notification on the free mobile apps. We'll take a further look at those apps towards the end of this webinar. Okay, so the players have responded to this event. I'm going to go back into my team page and we'll have a look and see how those responses are displayed. From my dashboard I can see the upcoming event listed. I click on that and then click on the lineup. I can see the responses the players have sent. Of course, players being players, there may be some of the usual suspects who haven't responded the first time round. So let me quickly show you how you can resend to those people. Go to the player who has yet to respond and click on the cog icon across from their name, and you will see there that you have the option to resend to that player via email, SMS or push notification. So that is the core notification and response mechanic on the service, and by far the most widely used aspect of what we do at Teamer. Now, the last piece on events, always an important one, particularly during the winter, is how to cancel a game. Games get cancelled for a whole host of reasons, and once they do get cancelled, time is of the essence in terms of letting those participants know that the event they were planning to take part in is no longer going to go ahead. If you click on the event as we've done previously, you'll see the option to cancel the event, the small red circle icon. Click on this and you'll be asked to enter the details as to why the event has been cancelled. This will be communicated to all players. In this case we'll say the pitch is waterlogged, and then click send. Straight away all the participants will receive via email, push notification or SMS this cancellation message. So that's notifications. Let's move on to some of the other cool features of the Teamer system. I'm going to start with the Team Talk section. This is an area where you and your teammates can discuss topics, and it also doubles as a secondary, more flexible communication tool for messages which you might want to send out that aren't related to event notification and response. So let's say you want to tell the team that they need to bring some extra footwear as the game may be switched to, say, an all-weather surface. So I click on the button to create a new topic, and I post my content and save it. Now I'm able to select who should receive this message, and you can see it's just like the event notification. I select the players I want to send the message to, and I click send. I can see a preview of the message if I wish. If you're going to also send by SMS, along with the standard email or push notification capability here, remember to keep the message succinct, as you're limited to 160 characters, the standard size of an SMS message. So there we go, I click send and all the players have received this message. Moving on from the Team Talk section, let's take a look at photos. When setting up a team, you can choose who is allowed to upload a photo. The default will be that any team member can upload a photo to the site. You can choose to leave it in the hands of organisers if you like. And uploading from a PC or laptop is straightforward. You choose the photos you'd like to upload from the C drive of the device and you can upload them with ease. It's also worth reminding that on the apps there is the option to take photos via the app when you're on the go, and they will be uploaded immediately to the photo section of the team in question. You can also choose if you'd like the members to be notified when these photos are added. Moving on to the document section, again, fairly self-explanatory. Let's say I want to upload and share a player registration form for the new season. In the document section, you'll see an option to upload the document, as I'm doing now. And you can also enter a cover note to maybe describe what the document is or what action is required on the part of the team. And you can then check a box to have the team notified that the new document is up there. They will be sent an email with the cover note instructions and a link to the document in question. Next we move to the attendance chart, which many organisers find very helpful. This tracks players' responses to events over the course of the season. It is populated as soon as the event is passed. It is editable by organisers and co-organisers, but not by the players themselves. So if you need to perhaps modify occasionally because a player said they would turn up and didn't, or vice versa, that's certainly an option that the organisers and co-organisers can avail of. And in which case the attendance chart then becomes a detailed full record of who was present for which events. Now, before we move on to the question section, we'll take a look at Teamer on a mobile app. Here is our Android app, and it's free for use for players and organisers, and it contains all the core functionality that we've looked at on the web app. Here's the home screen after you log into the app. You'll see it brings you to a dashboard again that lets you choose the team that you wish to deal with today. I'll click the first team, and it brings me to a simple dashboard for that team, showing me members, events, photos, and the Team Talk section. You can set up an event, you can notify an event, cancel an event, as you would on the web app. You can add players, and indeed all the core functionality is there to be used as needed when on the move. It's well worth your while encouraging players to take the Android and the iPhone app, as it's a great way for them to maintain and indeed increase engagement with the team. The apps use alerts for events, so this becomes a third route to the player. Also worth noting, if you manage a juvenile team, that indeed many people can be connected to the One Teamer profile using the apps. So if both parents have smartphones, both parents can connect with the team via the app, and both will receive notifications about the team concurrently. We'll run a more detailed webinar on the mobile apps in the future, so keep an eye out for that notification. Okay, so that's the main component of the webinar.